All right. Peace, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's see if we got all of our systems running smooth. All right. We got everything running smooth. Welcome to Aboriginal Global Media. We're back. The resident ghetto scholar is in the building. What's good with y'all? Been a minute. Been a little bit. That's all good. We definitely ready for some action tonight with this particular title. Highest title, numero uno. All right. Bring that down. All right, we're just getting set up and getting all the platforms running to make sure that everybody can hear and see us. Hope everybody having a good Sunday. Good weekend. I know I am. And I'm ready to address the topic. Who are the real culture vultures? Because we got some folk that are telling us that we are the culture vultures. Well, it's going to get hot tonight because I invited all y'all. Now, y'all know I got receipts that y'all came on all my posts, and I just told y'all, pull on up to Aboriginal Global Media. Come on, talk to the ghetto scholar, and let's see what it be. So, I think I got all my platforms running. Facebook, you're up. YouTube, you up. IG, you up. TikTok, I ain't messing with you. I'm not going live on TikTok right now because they trying to ban me. They gave me my last warning. And that was all for doing a video on indigenous culture. I ain't even curse. Y'all know sometimes I get like a sailor. I ain't curse. I ain't call nobody no names. I think the people in China are mad that I showed y'all where she actually came from. And I ain't talking about their mama. Not that she. So give China a round of applause for wanting to ban me from TikTok. Give them a round of applause. Yeah, give them a round of applause. All right, so you might want to share this with your audience, family members, etc., because this video is going to talk about history and heritage. There are many people who come and they say, I don't think that Black Americans have any culture. Really? You know whose fault that is? That's our fault, partially. Let's split it in half, actually. 50% our fault, 50% you jealous. I'm going to prove that tonight. And so we have to establish facts tonight, not feelings. The fact is that the people who are misnomered Black Americans have been on this land longer than anybody, have more culture on this land than anybody, and they're the most confused about it. More confused than anybody. We are here to bring clarity to this really, really bad situation. We're also here to address the Eurasians calling themselves Native Americans. Not only that, we're also here to address these new age Injuns. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The ones who say, America is Egypt. Oh, this is Tartaria. Do y'all know that the whole America is from Egypt and Tartarian civilization talk is from a white Mason? I'm going to say that one more again. It is from a white Mason. Not only is it from a white Mason, it, by design, was made partially ignorantly, that statement. And it was made partially intentional to subdue what I'm about to show you live online tonight. Nobody wants to know. There are groups of people who don't want you to know what I teach, what I write about, what the people in our government teach, publish, write about, even offer services on. Because it completely disrupts everything that you believe in, including your belief that white people are the problem. Some of you believe that. You believe all kinds of things. There will never be a problem in your life except you. And as a group, we are our own problem at this point. You are so utterly miseducated, believing that you are utterly educated, that I have recommended to people, and this is not always, they don't always agree with me in a tribe. I recommend to people to step on you, over you, and around you, to not even recruit you to the truth at this particular point. Everybody in the tribe don't agree with me when I say those kind of things. And that's fine. We don't need agreement. We just need unity on the code that we follow. But I'm telling our folk who are aware, you will not draw one atom of progress out of most of these people. Your progress is going to come from your folk, and we know we recognize each other now real good. The families you build and your children. That's where your progress is. And I'm going to say this, and people get mad at me. Maybe you just say you want to unfriend me on Instagram or Facebook or social media. I don't care. We don't need you. That's number one. Two, I will prove that you need us based on your trajectory. So I'm standing with the assets. I'm standing with the assets. I know who I'm standing with. I've been doing this long enough, bruh. In 1 month, I will be 50. I'm standing with the assets. So, shout out to the Shiamaru tribal government. Give them a round of applause. Shout out to all the dedicated brothers and sisters who operate. We were on legislative session today for 4 hours, working, discussing, planning, like we always do. The Juro Society, working, planning. The ARNA Ministerial Congress, working, planning. The entry-level health students, working, planning. The entry-level economic students, the jurors, the level 2 bioscan students. Who else? The birth, tribal midwives, birth workers, planning for the June 14th event. We got to talk about that. I'll share the flyers on that. And so anybody in our immediate circle that's inside of the onion, if you step up and look at what we do on a regular basis, for those of you in the tribe who are active active, because some people are less active, and that's okay. You'll get more active. You can take a look at the world that we live in, the immediate spaces, United States of America, Caribbean, South America, extend it over to oceans in Africa. I am telling you, there are no indigenous, melanated people on Earth doing a more important work than we are. I will prove it. They don't exist. Shout out to Hypnotic. I'm gonna need some Indigenous tonight to get through this. This is about to get real interesting. Shout out to the Eurasians. You're welcome to come on tonight. You can come in and make any comments that you like. I'll keep it respectful if you keep it respectful. You can share your position, your beliefs about where you come from and how you got here and all of the data that you think is important. And all we're going to do is either go into the discourse and dialogue and prove you absolutely wrong or agree when you tell the truth. So, where do we begin? Let's start here. Evidence. And then challenges to the evidence. Because I have to prove that we're not culture vultures, that in fact, we are the culture. That's not hard for me, I promise you. But what I'm going to do also is I'm going to go back over these points that I just made. All right. And pull up these people that I just mentioned and show you how the New Age movement of Indians who are saying all these ridiculous things. I need you people in Arna, Shiamru tribal government. I need you to see that they're an obstacle. They're in your way. They're misinforming, and they're just like the misinformation campaigns that came from the Europeans. Just like it. Oh my, this is about to get real ugly. So let's start off with this Tartarian stuff and this America is Egypt stuff, because I think that is a good landing place to first deal with in-house, because a lot of the $5 Indians, the Eurasians, they come at y'all because they know that y'all are pseudo. All right. And they're right. Oh, they're right. You're pseudo. You are absolutely pseudo. Yes, you are. And I'm going to prove it. I'm not going to name call or, do all these weird things where people have to insult people in order to establish points or anything like that. No, we're going to go straight to the documents. All right, so let me pull these sources up. And as I pull these sources up, keep in mind the title. Who are the real culture vultures? $5 Indians and New Age Injuns versus the she. Okay? Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. All right, I'm gonna give you all sources. I refuse to leave here and you accuse me of anything other than sharing the truth with you. Now, why is my first point about Tartaria being from Masons important? Because Masonry amongst Europeans is not what you think it is. It is a fraternal brotherhood, and then they have auxiliary female associated orders that are designed to keep them on top, whether they look like they're letting you participate or not. It's also stolen property, meaning that the orders that you are affiliated with, whether it's York Rite or Scottish Rite, are present as a result of them revolting against white slavery worldwide. And some of them were apprentices and working in the systems that we had developed, and they revolted. And you know what? In retrospect, I wasn't present as Ali during that time period, but I can understand any people who are in that position wanting to be free. So that's not the gripe. The gripe is, it's just chess. And in our chess, black moves first. So let me go ahead on and show you what I got here loaded up for you. Let's share some stuff. First, I'm going to go to this guy. Who is this? Reuben Swinburne Clymer was an American occultist and modern Rosicrucian Supreme Grand Master of Fraternitas Rosicrucis, perhaps the oldest continuing Rosicrucian organization in the Americas. He practiced alternative medicine. Interesting. It is a fact that no white people on earth invented any forms of alternative medicine. That is an indigenous practice. You want to argue with me, we can. And specifically a practice developed by melanated people across the globe. So somewhere along the lines of, information being passed down, these people have gotten a lot from us, and they should give us a round of applause. Okay, and wrote and published works on it, as well as his version of the teachings of who? Remember this guy. This is a brother. So he's reproducing the works of who? Pascal Beverly Randolph on alchemy, nutrition, religion, sex, magic, spiritualism. Now, this guy right here that I'm about to talk about is a part of another group. Now, I'm about to tell you who they are. This led to a number of conflicts with Harvey Spencer Lewis and Amorc, who has who? Aleister Crowley. So here's this guy. He's a Mason. He's a Rosicrucian. Rose Cross. That's important. I'm going to show you where that comes from. And let's talk about what he wrote. Let's talk about what he wrote. Yeah, look at the name, Swinburne. And I'm not putting him down because of any other reason than he shouldn't be a source for us on anything related to our culture. And we can learn from everybody. So let's go to his book, because I'm about to break this down, and I want you to understand primary research, secondary research, tertiary or third research, and where you're getting things. Where does this stuff come from? When somebody's trying to tell you you are Tartarian, and Tartarians built everything, and Tartarian civilization was a global thing, and America is Egypt, and okay. America is not Egypt. Egypt forever will be, always has been, and will be across the Atlantic in all of its forms. America is not Tamari. See some of you using that? It's historical ignorance and it's fad following instead of good research and institutions. The reason why ARNA and the Shiamu tribal government are making more progress than any other indigenous movement is because of structure, order, and functions that come out of that structure and order. Not social media stars. We have social media stars, in our, but they're going to be out there and they're going to be responsible with the information. So let's go look at this. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, ancient Oriental Masonry, its teachings, rules, laws, and present usages which govern the order at present day. True Masonry and the universal brotherhood of man are one. Oh, really? Now, let me give a caveat. This guy was kind of the good guy, because all the real treacherous people were over there with Aleister Crowley. I mean, they're treacherous. When I say treacherous, I mean they're super duper culture vultures, and they were heavily against that black Rosicrucian that I just showed you, Pascal Beverly Randolph, who this person is studying from. And I respect Pascal Beverly Randolph. I don't agree with everything that he taught, but Pascal Beverly Randolph was a real mystic. I'm talking about in performance of ability, based on enough witnesses and me being familiar with the brotherhood that he created and the rights that he had, and having done some of the experiments. I know when somebody knows you're talking about astral traveling and you don't. No, if you can astral travel, you should be able to go to sleep, tell me what colors I got on when I'm asleep, without being there for, in person. So look at your source. That's your source. You can get this book online. PDF online is free. Now we're going to go to page around 25, 23 to 25. Let's do that. Here we go. So these are his opinions, but I want you to go down to part 4 is where we're going to really get started. But you have to understand the power of culture, especially if it's really, really profound culture. And Black people here had and have a profound culture. But let me expose the New Age Injuns. So look at what this guy says. Mystic Masonry is not only the key to the religion taught to all men in all ages, from the very beginning of conscious life up to the present, but it holds the keys to these religious and is, in fact, the very repository of religion itself. Its degrees give the secret to its initiates as no religion nor any other order can. False. I'll come to that. Our rites of passage will eat them alive. Is eating them alive as we grow with it, as people understand what it is, because we do a lot of business stuff too. Like Masonry has a business element that people don't talk about. This is not about mysticism. This is about technology, whether the people in participating know it or not. It has for its base the existence of God and the immortality of the soul. It recognizes man as the living temple of God. What man is the living temple of God? That temple which was built without sound of hammer or any noise. It recognizes the Christos, Christ, as the living principle of the soul of man, without which no one can be immortal. Now you see how that got slid in there? You're sliding in a word, and words are magic. Now we think that Christ is something that is associated with Jesus. That's what we believe. But you better get my book, The White Man Who Wrote the Bible, so you can know what Christ really meant. Christ means the rulers of Rome. And Rome means the invasion of blackness of any type. It does not just mean a historical civilization. And so the Antichrist to them is someone who disrupts their Eurasian fantasy. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to prove all this. It has for its object the uniting of mankind into a universal brotherhood. Now using man and mankind. The exercise of benevolence, the practice of arts, the practice of virtue, and the study of both nature and God as he is. Now, you must understand that language is important. All right? In this sense, the context of God is, he's saying, I guess, the creator of the universe. The creator of the universe does not have a gender. That must be stated. I'm not jumping over there with the goddess clan and the He-Man woman haters, but I have to talk proper language. The leader of family, the supreme leader, God on earth, might have a gender, and he does. But the designer of planets, stars, moons, for you flat earthers, firmaments. Nah, we ain't talking gender there, bruh. We talking something way, 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 way more important that sets the pace for gender. But let me go down here. Let's blow this up so you can see what my point was about the pseudo-Indians. The cradle of the symbolism used in all masonry is placed by many of the best authorities in that country which they believe was first inhabited, meaning by humans, i.e. the plateau of Tartary. Tartarian, I dare you to find me a source that's saying all life in the first inhabitants on earth are from Tartary before this man. Go find it. He's talking Tartarian civilization right here. This is the origin of it. Masons, my point is, Masons brought you Tartarian is everywhere. No, she is everywhere. So this is Tartary versus the she. And I can prove linguistically, culturally, symbolism, trade routes, etc., that the she were everywhere. And their influence was everywhere. You ain't gonna find me no Tartary influence everywhere. But this is where it comes from. Inhabited, i.e. the plateau of Tartary. And from there, meaning from Tartaria, civilization transmitted to this generation by the sages of India, Persia, Ethiopia, and Egypt. We are not indebted to either ancient Egypt. Listen to this now. We are not indebted to either ancient Egypt for either religion or masonry, but to America. Woo! Now we're about to go. Let's keep reading. It is a fact that at Memphis, Egypt, in the pyramids, under the guidance of the kings, the mystic rites of masonry were worked many thousands of years ago. But at that time, Egypt and the continent of America were one and the same. Give it up. This is where these Injuns, some agent among the new age black Injuns, then went to a Mason and started this conversation. America is Egypt. This is what you call sourcing out a claim. Because nowhere will you go and search on earth and find this conversation about Tartaria, about America being Egypt, that's floating across the internet and going crazy until you get here. Then you start looking at the people like, what fraternal organization are you associated with? Because you are actually using high-level sorcery and manipulation on the people through media. But you're doing it through grassroots, the place where we're supposed to keep it raw, clear, truthful. You took mainstream media, CNN tactics, and infused it into the New Age Indian movement. And that's why I call them the pseudo New Age Indian movement. They don't do research. They don't read. They don't do dissertations. They don't have universities and boards and other people who are going to peer review information. They don't have any of that. The high archons of it are tactical manipulators, and the low-level bottom feeders are just gobbling up a bunch of religious Masonic mysticism. That is my point. That is my point. And so let me come off of this so I can go back and summarize what I'm trying to tell to you. I'm trying to tell to you that the shit that you're talking don't make no sense. That's what I'm trying to tell to you. Yeah. And so you need some new friends in research. You need some new friends. And you need to learn what's valuable and what to share. I have this thing, right, where I watch people who are around me who might enjoy the information or whatever. And I'm naturally a scientific mind. So I just want to see, okay, what do you share? What types of information do you share? I see them sharing the same stuff that I'm combating right now. They're saying this pseudo. It's all over their page. And I'm wondering to myself, okay, why? And it's a very simple answer to it. They're pseudo too. They have very bad habits in research, very bad habits in dissemination and exchange of information. And more than likely, they may stay that way. Who knows? That's not for me to worry about. It's for me to understand, but not for me to worry about. So, to all of the New Age Indians, we're not Tartarians. Y'all can be Tartarians. Y'all can be Tarbarians, barbarians, extraterrestrial Aryans. Y'all can be whatever y'all want to be. I can't tell you what to be, but I will tell you what we are and what we are not. Now, let's jump over to the $5 Indians. Because I told y'all I was going to come with receipts. Well, I already wrote all the books. Well, not all the books, but I wrote books. And we have other people that wrote books in ARNA. And they really, really do a good job of covering this information. So let's go into some of it. So now, I'm not going to be impractical. I'm about you studying, right? So, hell yeah, I'm going to put my books in the chat. Share them with your folk. Share the links with your folk. They need to read. And if I'm sitting here saying we have the best information out, that is a challenge. And that challenge is saying, if we don't, prove it. So I'm going to go right over here, put this link in here because I'm about to open up one of these books. Don't ask me where to get the book from. It's in the chat. That's my point. I'll put it on Instagram. I'll put it on Facebook. Even though it's already in my link tree, I'll put the digital books and I'll put all the other stuff in there. Let's do that too. All right, let's do that too. All right. And so, all right, that link is in the chat on both sides. Y'all see that? And if they want, well, yeah, all right, yeah. I just got the recommendation. Put the physical link in there too. All right, I'll put that. I mean, the link to the physical book. Excuse me. I'll do that too. Because we do have hard copies. I mean, the physical copies of these books too. So, if you want physical copies of these books, I'm about to read from "They Lied About Slave Trade," and I'm going to read from "Are Black Americans, Aboriginals, or Africans? The History, the Genetics, and the Law." All right, so let's throw that in the chat too. And for those of you on other platforms, on YouTube, I'm using a new YouTube account. It's called The Ghetto Scholar. And it's because they closed the other YouTube account. And I talked about that in the past, or why they closed the YouTube account. They were complaining about documentaries that I had about Dr. Khalid. They were giving me strikes for other documentary material that I put out. The reasons were very vague, of course, and that's fine. You know, I'm just using social media because my people are there. I have other platforms like Patreon and other stuff that you can, sign up for. And if you don't know what those are, as we're going through, I'll put those in the chat as well. All right, so let's do it. I'll do that now. At least on Instagram, because I can't see them when I'm talking on here. So, yeah. All right. So let's go to our second source of material. Let's go to the book They Lied About the Slave Trade. All right. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to give you a good view of what this book deals with. Now you see the chapters. What is the geographical origin of the so-called Black American? If Black Americans are the first Americans, when did so-called Native Americans get here, and how did the Olmec Mayans migrate to the American South? That's huge, because Brother Kwahu is doing a dissertation, and this right here is basically being, parts of it are being expanded into that dissertation with the primary source material he uncovered, which is the nail in the coffin. I don't even need to mention that tonight. If I were to mention that tonight, we just have to close the whole YouTube up. But that's coming in a dissertation from one of our great scholars and nationals who's doing great work. Who did the first European explorers see in the American South? Where did the transatlantic slave trade start? The slave trade in reverse. Now, if you see that term, the slave trade in reverse, in other people's materials like Dane Calloway, no, and understand, I've been teaching that since 2010. Dane Calloway stole that concept from me, stole the whole thing, and he's trying to build his platform. Kudos to you. Go build yourself up. No problem. Source your material though, because it's gonna look embarrassing if I come behind you and people are asking, like, wait a minute, I heard that over here. No, that's not from over there. We got the publishing seals to show it comes from over here. Who were the first people to be enslaved in the colonies? The Indian slave trade of indigenous blacks of the American South. How many documented Africans were actually brought to the Americas? That's a big one. It ain't what you think it is. Why do people believe 10 to 12 million were brought here, Africans? Did a computer algorithm generate pseudo numbers? The imputation algorithm. That's a hard one for people to swallow. Did most Africans come here to work and as military mercenaries to fight indigenous Americans? That's just a hard one to swallow. But we put evidence in all these chapters. Were most of the African slaves Moors? Another good question. Can we use genetic tests to verify who comes from African slaves? Why or why not? Genealogy and the truth it reveals about family lineage in America. So I'm going to show you a slide today. One of the slides is from a museum in Lima, Peru, and it's going to show you the point I've been trying to make in these last few videos, that the European royal families at the initiation of what you call the invasion of colonization were Black. You go to Wikipedia, you got these paintings of these people that were made up by who knows who. But they, if I go from Charles the Third to Fourth to Fifth to Henry the Second, like, bro, these people, these photos are made up. Anybody remember the little white girl who made the family tree and showed all the presidents was related to a particular king? And it was going back to King Alfred and all these other people. Don't you understand that chart was fake? It's sensational. It makes you feel like you're a part of the Illuminati or something when you're looking at it. But you need to understand the chart is fake. All those people were Black. That's not where these white people came from. They didn't come from those lineages. Some of their family were slaves to them, though. That's how they got their last names. The world is not what you think it is. The world is what it was. And if you figure out what it was, you'll understand what's happening today. Then you'll understand that all brown people ain't got the same lineage. You wondering why Negroes be acting weird and you can't vibe with some people? They're not a part of your tribe. And it doesn't mean all Moors were good or bad, all indigenous peoples were good or bad, all Black Europeans were good or bad. It just means that we need to understand where people come from. Then we need to understand self-identity, which is the most important part. What happens when the African slave trade lies destroyed, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. So let me go to this first concept of the $5 Indians, also known as the Eurasians, saying, wait a minute, Ali. These photos, the Mayans painted their skin. This is not your people. This is not your people. The Mayans painted their skin. Now, what is this I have right here? This is Bonham Pack. What are they holding in their hands? They're holding maracas. Maracas were instruments of divination. You go to West Africa now, you see maracas all over the place. Where was the maraca designed at? When you look it up, trying to figure out, they'll say some little Eurasian tribe in South America, then they'll jump right to the Caribbean. Stop the car. That is a sheet instrument. Primary evidence. Bonham Peck murals. Maracas all over the wall. Do you know why they have these white turbans on? Man, let me break something down to you so deep that's so simple. That's a testament in my own family. My great-great-grandmother, Ada Moulton, daughter, Frances Moulton, daughter, my grandmother, Jeanette Moulton, Washington, my mother, Andrina, Washington. How many generations is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 generations back, my father told me and taught me that my great-great-grandmother was a midwife, and she delivered him, his mother, and many other people in the community. This is before my mother and father even became husband and wife. My mother's great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother delivered my father. But anyway, he said that she was a medicine woman, and she always wore this white turban. And she was known in the South as a hoodoo person, just like her daughter, my great-grandmother, who was the head of the Eastern Stars. And my mom was sitting down one day, and she said, you know, you get that medicine from your great-great-grandma, Grandma Ada. How is it that I have this intricate desire to work with midwifery, right? The mothers of my children, I have 6 children by 2 women. I sent both to midwife school, or, got them through midwife school. One was at Maternidad de la Luz in El Paso. One was at the farm in Tennessee. This is all a part of my life now, but this is only 4 generations back to people my parents saw with their own eyes, walking around with these turbans, walking around as medicine women. Do y'all understand that this is not that far back? That's what I'm trying to say. People who are trying to say we're fake, then we have primary evidence that the Shi developed the maraca. You can go into West African divination and you see the maraca. That's an American divination object. They ain't got nothing to do with Africa. Yeah, you would like to know how indigenous blacks had coexisted and Moors had coexisted on the land. You're going to have to study. And we put it in books, but that's not the subject tonight. But we got it in books. That's why I be responsible. I put the books there. You can start your reading. So my point is, West Africans, quit acting like we your children, because I will get real ignorant on you and show you that you are our children by spanking you. Because you don't know where the instruments that you're using come from. Oh, you don't know. I promise you. And if you had proper use of them, you wouldn't be colonized. Maraca has nothing to do with a Eurasian tribe in South America. You go to Wikipedia, you look it up, then you're going to see all this information. It has nothing to do with nobody in the Caribbean. It spread from the Caribbean, from North America, from the Shi. But my point about the $5 Indians, they'll say, oh, this is paint. Ali, this is paint. I guess this is paint too. Paint and, is this paint and weave? Are these? Let me get a close up. Matter of fact, is everybody painting? All right. What about this? $5 Indians. I need y'all to answer me a question because y'all already know the answer to this. Do you even have the genes to make hair like this? Because we've told you what gene code this is, what copper receptors and the genes associated with it are required to make this kinky hair and to make locks. Then they try to make you think locks is a Bob Marley phenomenon or something. Didn't they just have a governor in the country of Nigeria that passed a law to arrest people who have locks? This is a black man in Nigeria. This ain't the Supreme Court of the United States, making some outlandish ruling. Go look throughout African history, though. Those locks came in at a certain time period into the Levant in Africa. Where did they come from? I know where they came from. I know what time period they came in, and I know what other cultural disbursements came with it. Cranial deformation came with it. These are all American cultural things, just like hip hop. You got South Africans saying hip hop come from South Africa now. Oh, really? Really? Is that the truth? Y'all getting real stupid with it. This is not paint in the sense of pale people were painting their skin brown and putting weaves in as locks. Mardi Gras. You see the instruments that are in high school bands here. The whistle, found in Mayan tombs. The flutes, found in Mayan tombs. The percussion instruments, found in Mayan tombs. I told them earlier last week, when you see high school bands, when you see HBCUs stepping with the percussion, the whistles, that comes from the she. You don't see nobody on no damn Native American reservation stepping with no damn whistles and flutes and percussion. You might see some people playing the flutes, but guess what? The flutes are from these people. This is not paint. This is melanin. Then they're saying this is Egypt? Oh, really? This is not Egypt. You see the writing on the wall. You can see barely see the glyphs, but I'm going to open up the glyph system so you can see the glyphs. Ain't nothing about the she glyph system and linguistics Egyptian or African at all. Clyde Winters, you can come on in the chat and you can argue that the Olmec Mayan language is Mande. Are you kidding me? Mande doesn't have what we are calling a hieroglyphic script, pictorial script, nor does the grammar match. These inventions are getting terrible. They're getting more and more terrible. Look at these people. Now, y'all have seen me also show other manipulations that these people have done to make our people look differently, like even changing the noses and all that stuff. Mayan locks, cranial deformation. Olmec skulls on display at Mexico City's National Archaeological Museum. Cranial deformation. Elongated crania or display at the Ica Museum, where you got the oldest maps. Come over here to Africa. There you go. You see the 18th dynasty people doing it. We know how they got the cocaine, and we know how they got the cranial deformation. They got it from America. So pre-Columbian contact is proven. It is a reality. And we see the impact even all the way up to Europe. I just did a whole video on dragon culture and the symbol of Powhatan in European heraldry and the dragon culture, and show where it came from. We are not culture vultures. Cotton, bales of cotton from these same people. Look at it. This is black and white with the translations. When the Spanish came throughout Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, all the way across, all the way to what we know of today as Texas and those areas, they reported the people was already growing cotton. They already had cotton plantations. These American Aboriginals have cotton plantations, and they got you thinking that you was a slave picking cotton. No, you developed cotton as a commodity. And then later, of course, some people did slide in and take over your plantations, and that's fine. But you need to understand where this stuff comes from. You need to understand it. You need to understand the codexes. What codex is this? Primaries. Codex Telleriano-Ramensis. You want to see? Look, I got all these codexes. Let me just show you something. Let me show you something real quick. Because this will give you some insight on investment, right? Let's do this. Because I ain't going upstairs to get this book, but I'm gonna do this. I'll do this. Let me show you. You want this book? All right, let me type it in there because it's not letting me. So they lowered the price, all right? But let me show you. Just let me show you. They lowered the price. Last time I checked, last year it was $875. All right, so let me show you what it is now. That's good. You know why it's getting like that? Because people sharing the information online. Once people start sharing the information online, they have to lower the cost. They think they slick. They ain't slick. So here you go. This is the book. I got this book upstairs. You see the price? $375. Last year, this was $875. The stuff in here, there's some stuff I haven't even posted from this book. It's just crazy. It completely destroys this whole concept of everybody painted themselves. That's where I'm coming from. Oh, yeah, the Mayans painted themselves. They were really brown like that. They wasn't really brown like that. Y'all better, the dragon videos are on all my platforms. IG, Godbody.og, Amaru Ali on TikTok. Y'all better start learning how to use the internet. Let me go back to the book. So I'm in, they lied about the slave trade. All right. So I'm just going through this. Like, okay, did they paint themselves too? And what is this? You know what this is? That's cacao. Look at the language. This ain't no goddamn Egyptian. You bring a specialist in metal netter and tell him to come decipher this. Oh, America is Egypt. America is not Egypt. America is America. If we're going to call it anything else, call it She-Land. Ain't nobody painting. What are you talking about? Let me go further. I ain't letting nobody get away. Nobody gets away. Nobody gets away. We ain't let nobody get away. Hold on. Huh? Huh? Look at the hair. What are y'all talking about? Y'all mad because this is us. And you said, well, this is Mexico. You in Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama and Mississippi, and ain't got nothing to do with y'all there. Oh, yes, it does. We're about to go into it. I can't wait to Kwahu release this dissertation. Oh my God, it's just going to be ugly for you. Let's go back. Let's go back. Ooh, original portrait. This is Florida. What's the date on this? 1700s. Giovanni Valpeto. Giovanni Valpeto. All right, let's zoom out. You see it. They say Indians didn't even have beards. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at the black folk. Feathering it up. You see that? You see it? Look at the animals that are in that location. This is what they saw when they got here. This is not your ancestors. Did they paint themselves too? Did the painter paint the people darker and then make the photo? It's obvious that their claims are ridiculous, okay? Their claims are just ridiculous. Like super ridiculous. There's not even a need to combat that. Right? The US Congress. Oh, this is their fake chief telling me this. What did the US Congress say? The Yamasee were Negroes. Go look at the Yamasee video that I did. It's on IG at godbody.og. It's on TikTok, Amaru Shiali. It's on this YouTube channel. The Yamasees were Negroes. And the Yamasee is the real name for the Guale or Gaul or Gullah. They're the real name for Seminoles. They're the real name for Upper Creeks, Red Sticks. All of those are Yamasee. The Lower Creek, the Creek was a confederation. And we had invasion from Eurasians into the Creek Confederacy. And that is how Andrew Jackson, Duncan Clinch, and all those got some advantage. See, because we always making the wrong alliances. We made an alliance with these people. Tecumseh came all the way from up into Detroit around the Great Lakes area to try to warn us about these people. Oh yeah, we got it. Tecumseh came to Alabama to warn us. The Yamasee were Negroes. You're Asians. You're not Yamasee. You're not Seminole. You're not Catawba. You're not Uchi. You're not Latama. You're not even Creek. We're about to tell you where you come from. It's on record. We ain't got to lie. Why you got to lie, Craig? We ain't got to lie. Let's talk about where you come from. We ain't got to make nothing up. Let's talk about where you come from. We're about to. This was not you building houses that house 300 people. I showed you the one from Alabama where the conquistador came in and said, hey, man, they had houses that could hold 1,000 people. That's hotels. This is not Tartaria. This is the She civilization in North America. We ain't gonna never make nothing up. You need to get this book. I know that. This book will help you understand what you're not understanding. I wish I could turn this around. Can I turn this around? Maybe I could flip it. Let's see. Flip it. There we go. Y'all like to use Slave Voyages, right? This is y'all site. Yo, primary sources only. SlaveVoyages.com. Data variables. The variables include information that for convenience. I'm about to get to where you Eurasians come from, but I got to do this before I do that. Have been grouped into 8 categories: year range, vessel characteristics, right? The itinerary of the voyages, the number, age, sex, and mortality of enslaved people, dates at which the vessel left and arrived, the captain and the crew of the vessel, the outcome of the voyage, the sources for the record. Table 1 provides a summary of the coverage of some of the more important data variables. Number of Africans embarked on ships. 8,285. Now let me go to another variable. You see that? I ain't making this shit up. You can go right to the website and see it. Anybody got to make nothing up? Nobody got to make nothing up. These folk, all these folk who y'all have pride in, saying, hey, man, say, man, it was only 8,285 Africans brought across them waters. And some of them came as workers. They wasn't even trying to, they wasn't tripping. But let me show you something. Let's go there. Population census data, AD 700. In the Yucatan alone, 7 to 11 million black people looking like this in this area alone. We ain't counting all the other areas. You mean to tell me 8,000 something odd people coming to a area with 40 million people, lower in 20 million people, and change the whole population? What are y'all trying to say? I go through population statistics all throughout this book. When you read the book, you're going to see it. I'll skim through it just so you can see. These are the cradles of civilization. All right? Various cradles of civilization that you had. And that's important to highlight. And I go through the numbers. In this book, I go through numbers. In each era of time, what was the calculated possible human population in designated areas and on the globe. With these population numbers, it is impossible for a people to have walked across ice 30,000 years ago and been an isolated population of Eurasians until Columbus came. The math ain't mathing, bro. I mean, it is not mathing at all. Not only that, shit, we ain't gotta go that far. That might be above somebody's pay grade in intelligence. Let's just do this. Let's ask the historical record where y'all come from. Let's ask the historical record. Let us review the codices as they reveal when the Asian migrants, now called Native Americans, arrived. Codexes, Azcatitlan, Codex Boturini. Let's read them. These codices describe the arrival of the Aztecs from their land, Aztlan. They arrived at Colhuacan. They ruled for 200 years before the original inhabitants, the blacks, regained rule. So, what is that date right there? The Spanish are putting it there with the our linguistics that they learned. That's 1168 AD, bro. That's 1168 AD. Hold on, let me do my math. Currently 2025 minus 1168 equals. Y'all asses only been here 857 years. What did y'all talk about? What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Look at y'all. The Spanish and other people, we got walls and pictures of look at how they depicted y'all. Y'all Asians, Europeans. You're Asians. Coming into a land that already had pyramids and culture and all of that. What are y'all talking about? According to the Codex, they came from a land across the sea. The land had pyramids and was depicted as an island. Go over to Cambodia. Go over to all these areas where other black people were. Y'all were slaves over there too. Y'all came here through slave traders. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all see the collections of where these things come from? And we got dates. We got dates on the codices. And we got how y'all looked. Y'all done switched up a little bit. Y'all done been mixing in a little bit. 1169. Here y'all come again. See the cactuses where y'all coming in? Y'all coming into our lands. Then we got more dates. All the way up to 1195, 4. Look at y'all. We could track the whole story. Look at y'all. Bringing Africans. Trying to rewrite the story like the Africans was some kind of slaves of the conquistadors. Man, are you kidding me? We're not that slow. I'm about to prove that was not the case. That was not the case. Look at y'all. These are y'all codexes. The Spanish wasn't lying. Look at 1197 to 1204. Y'all still there. Y'all had got some rule. 1205 to 1214. Fighting each other. Various tribes. Look at it. Now watch how the codexes change when they get to the 1300s. The Spanish didn't lie. They know what they saw. They know what they recorded from the traditions. Oh, here go the brown people. And what happens when you see the brown people come back? You see that goddamn snake come back. Cuckoo Khan. This is the real history in Mexico City. We ain't got to make nothing up. We do not have to make nothing up. We can go further back, right? White slave trade, 900 AD. We had Asians. We had Europeans. All slaves. We already went over this. And we already went over the Vikings and the people who brought them here. We about to cross over. Don't worry, we're gonna get back to that. Asians. They always put it when they show up. Kukulkan. Temple of the Warriors. I can show you Jamel Charlo with this haircut right here, right now. Matter of fact, let me see it. Let me see if I can pull it off. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what epic memory and genetics will do. I mean, we've seen this before, right? Let me see if I can pull anybody up. I mean, shit. You don't have to be him. But he has that certain type of haircut. Black people been wearing these styles. Like, what are y'all talking about? Let me show you. So y'all see what I'm showing you here, right? So you'll look at this and you'll say, well, why their hair dyed? Why their hair dyed? They brown, but why they got hair? The top of their hair is dyed. It's a style. Your epic memory will make you reproduce things that your ancestors did. Why do you think we started windmilling? That's capoeira. That's South American indigenous martial arts. That's in our blood. We put what? The needle to the carbon. Started playing the vinyl. Then we start doing things that are memory. That blonde hair on the top, let me show you how this goes. Let me show you how this goes. This is science. This is not spookism. Let me show you how it goes. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to all our points. Look, we've been doing this. There's nobody teaching us how to do this shit. And then some of our people be like, oh, you're trying to be white. Dennis Rodman was doing this. I mean, we can go back. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say to y'all? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Yeah, you think it's a hat. Of course you think it's a hat because you're not studying. You don't even know what they would use in the area as plants to make the dyes, do you? Do you? You don't know. You can't possibly know. You don't read that much. I'm a geek and a nerd. I read that much. All right, so let's go back because I ain't finished my points. Matter of fact, let me come off of this and do something else. Let me show you what I wanted to show you about these Europeans, because you know, folks be missing the point. So I got to remind them. Let me remind you. Let me remind you. Now watch how they play history. Watch this. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something to break up this whole psychology that you might have. Now watch this. This is about to blow your mind. This is about to blow your mind. Let me show you. Let me show you how the research in the Shiamaru tribal government, Aboriginal University, there's nothing like it. Let me show you why. All right. Anybody ever heard of this guy right here? Now, this is a municipality. Yanga is a municipality. What's in Yanga? All the black Mexicans. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. In 1932, it was renamed after who? Gaspar Yanga. Who was Gaspar Yanga? Was an African who led a maroon colony of enslaved Africans in the highlands near Veracruz. Do you understand that this is an absolute lie? This is how they denationalize you and take this statue of this person right here, Gaspar Yanga, is said to be of an African. And they got it where? Veracruz. Now, the first Veracruz was in Brazil. Oh, yeah. I got the receipts. Oh, yes. I have the receipts. I have the receipts. Don't worry. I have the receipts. I'm about to show you the receipts. But look at the word. Yanga. Gaspar Yanga. Now, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Oh my God. This can get fun. Put a pin in Yanga. Take the A out though. Because I'm about to show you Yanga is a name and a title for indigenous kings in the Americas, South America. Then I'm going to show you Veracruz was originally in South America, not Mexico. Hold on. Let's do the academics of it. Oh, you see it. Now, this is from the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru. What do you see right there? Not only do you see Yanga, Yanga is a present perfect tense term of Naga. Yanaga. Nagas, like the Nagas over in Asia, they got that name from Americans. The last 7, what you're calling Incas, look at how they look. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I need to give myself a round of applause. Ain't nobody in Africa named no goddamn Yanga. Ain't nobody in no goddamn Africa named no damn Yanga. What are y'all talking about? Yanga was not African, bruh. Yanga was American. Not only that, let's blow your mind some more. Let's not stop there. You want me to scroll on over? I can't get that far. Let me see. Okay, I can't get that far. But what I can do, Larco Museum. All right, so let me stop the share. Let me go here. Maybe I can zoom in. Can I zoom in on this one? Let me see. Oh, let me zoom in. Oh, yeah, well. There we go. Oh, here we go. Now, I want you to take a look at this. Those same kings I just showed you. This is going to blow your mind. Hold on. Let me pull up. I'm about to show you the European royalty was black. All right. So check this out. 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 Watch this. Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. Now, this is during the time of pull this up right. This is during the time that the Spanish conquistadors and other people were coming here. What's the other guy's name? John Hawkins. The Portuguese had already come to America, the Dutch, the Spanish. Who was the head of the who was the Holy Roman Emperor? Who was the king of Spain during this time? Germany, Italy. Who was the king? His name was Charles V. Watch this. I'm going to show you from Lima, Peru, what they depicted. What did they show? I'm about to show you. What do you see? Carlos Quintos. Look at him. It's a brother. Matter of fact, Philip II, a brother. His son, a mulatto. Excuse me, Philip the Fourth, too. Look at all these black people. Then you got a mulatto. Then you start getting the white folks. When you move into the 1700s. But Carlos Quintos, Charles V, blacker than black. Now, this is from Lima, Peru, the Larco Museum. I'm going to Google Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor, and I want you to see what they depict him as. This is a black European right here. You see the crown, because they were what? They were invading South America. And so the indigenous kings got kicked out, the Yangas. And then now you got him claiming this territory. Now, this is huge. This is such a big subject. I can't even cover it all tonight. There are actually some positives to this and some negatives. But I just wanted you to see phenotype. Now, check out this guy. Let's go to Wikipedia and put in Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor. Don't ever bring these little ashy teachers online to challenge me, please. I ain't gonna tell you I'm your daddy because I don't want to claim you. Look at Charles V. What they doing? Man, what they doing? What they doing? What they doing? Who is this? Man, who is this? Who are these people right here, bro? This is the shit that y'all go online and y'all Google, and y'all trying to Google y'all way to fight real scholars. Look at that shit, man. Who is this? Who is it? Who this dude right here, bro? Who uncle this is? Who uncle then jumped into the goddamn castle and don't belong there? I could go to Connor Ben, a boxer. Who else is over there in Europe? That's a boxer. Tony Bellew, a boxer. Kell Brook, a boxer, and show them all their black European noble families and the estates that they owned. Y'all know Connor Ben. Connor Ben just fought against Chris Eubank Jr. Their fathers fought. All right? Their fathers fought each other. Their fathers were boxers too. And they're in Europe. They live in Europe. They don't know their lineage though. I'm trying to tell you, Arna is here to teach global lineage to all people on Earth, not just even our own in North America. But you can't come up on me with this picture right here. And we done been to places and seen these places ourselves. I can travel all throughout North and South America. I got family in other parts of South America right now. Who is this dude? Like, what is going on? This stuff is available to you in museums. You need to travel. You need to go across the earth and travel so you understand the genealogy. I did a whole documentary on this, part 3 of We Are Indigenous, Global Genealogy. This information is out in bed. You can access this stuff. When I was in the video showing the Black Vikings, those pictures I showed you of white people jumping off of boats in the Yucatan, they were jumping off of Black Viking ships. All right. All right. You don't believe nobody until they show you. You don't believe nobody until they show you. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm trying to tell you, Black people across the world follow a culture that was rooted in the primal culture over here in North America. And that primal culture in North America spread throughout Europe. Its impact, its trade impact, its cultural impact spread through Africa, Europe, and Asia. And the Eurasians were our slaves. That's what I'm trying to get to you. So y'all coming to talking about somebody as a culture vulture. What did y'all build as slaves? Because everywhere y'all have come, even y'all feathers, everything that y'all got from us. I don't care where y'all were. Let me just keep proving my point. Let me keep proving my point. Do y'all really want to play this game with me? I don't think y'all want to play this game with me. This game, yeah. I promise you, I have not gotten started yet. I promise you. I have not got. Look at the black people. Look at the white boy. Look at the white boy with the paddle. Please just don't do this to yourselves. Matter of fact, let me do this. Because sometimes people can't see. Everybody don't have 20/20 vision. All right. So let's do this. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up so you can get a bird's eye view. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up. Let's stop this share as we have it right now. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up. I'm going to blow that picture up just in case nobody, it was too small. I couldn't see it. Boom! Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? What white Vikings? What are y'all talking about? Huh? 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 Look at the waves. They out on the sea, lurking. Lurking. Why are you lurking like that? Why are you lurking like that? And let's talk about, we put it in the video, let's talk about what they was up to. All right. What do you mean what they was up to, Ali? What I mean is, let's talk about the culture and where the Vikings got this dragon culture from. They got it. They was dropping off slaves in the Yucatan, bro. Taking back books and notes. Yeah, they were. Gwen Jones. You see it. Gwen Jones. Same Vikings. Are you kidding me? Look at the white folks drowning with the sword in his back. They vicious, bro. They vicious, bro. They vicious, bro. And this is what? This is Amaru. This is Quetzalcoatl. This is the feathered serpent. This ain't hard to understand. You see the alphabet in the background, don't you? I told y'all that Europeans did not develop Old English, New English, none of those languages. Like none. Zero. Zilch. Those are all Moorish languages. This is Kukulkan over in Europe. Dragon culture. And this is the 25,000 year cycle. He's swallowing his tail because it represents, let me show you what it represents. Let me show you what it represents. Represents this. Let's see if I can pull it up. Because I can start closing on these points. I don't got to keep going on and on and on and on about this. See if I can find this. If I can't, oh yeah, let me get it. This ain't it. There we go. All right. Give me 1 second to pull this file up. And I can close on these last points. All right. So let me show you what this represents, though. So you won't be confused about that. And then I can close with some announcements because we got some major projects and things that are going on now. So I got to talk about that. All right. Let me show you what it represents. You gotta find out what it represents. All right, so this is what it represents right here. Make that larger. This is what it represents right here. Right here. This is the dragon swallowing his tail. Now you have Draco as a constellation. Right now, Polaris is the pole star. But every 25,000 years, it circles through 7 different stars. But what happens is Draco is inside the circle. Draco is the dragon. They try to make you think the dragon cult is the Illuminati and tied to reptilians. Man, please stop this stuff, bro. This is getting annoying. This has everything to do with mathematics, science, astronomy, understanding the earth is a spheroid, understanding our place in the universe, a culture. It was Amaru, Drago, or Draco, whatever term you want to call it. The feathered serpent represented two things. It was a biological life form, showing you that we are around during the time of what we call in the dinosaurs. They are feathered serpents or feathered reptiles. And then it was the constellation that never set, the dragon in the sky, which is a whole nother thing when you start talking about life forms. All right. I ain't gonna get into that kind of conversation because I can lose some people. But you see what it represents. It represents 25,000 year. Ain't no damn 25,000 year calendar in Africa. Go name it. Where? Nigeria? Where? Definitely in Europe. Not in China either. We could go right to the Tune calendar right now. The whole divination practice, Southern Hoodoo, all of this stuff comes from this one calendric universal science of the motions of the celestial sphere, which are the energies that a real shaman taps into to carry out ritual practice. It's the ultimate form of monotheism. Through what you're calling ancestors, but the ancestors are only planets. Check that out. And it's people, of course, you got your physical ancestry. But these names that people are calling, Eshu, Obatala, Babalao, y'all don't know what this is. You got to be a very deep practitioner and very studious to understand what this stuff is. Am I showing the right thing? Yeah, I'm showing the right thing. So this was from the mother culture. That's what I'm trying to say. How do I know that? It's in the monuments. Let's pull the monuments up. Matter of fact, let's do this. Excuse me. I want to make a mistake. Because I said it was in Europe, so let me show you. There you go. Black Uraeus. Uraeus is actually the name for the serpent on the crown of the pharaoh. This represents one. Look, he's swallowing his tail. This is Europe. And this king, one of the four black kings, is called Baal. Showing you that the Canaanite and Eblite culture was the first to invade Europe. And that's what became the Holy Roman Empire. But the Bible says Baal is evil and all of this stuff. This is why you got to understand. When I wrote the book, The White Men Who Wrote the Bible, I was really trying to help my community. We're really bad at research. Terrible. F. But this is Kukulkan in Europe. Look at that crown he's wearing because it's important. Mansa Musa had that same crown. What does that crown represent? All right. Last slide. Well, last two slides. Let me get my last two slides. This one just takes it right back to the mother culture. And y'all seen this before, but I'm showing it to you just so you can see. Kukulkan, tail. You see it. Then you see Powhatan. Then you see this device. This is a free energy device. But that's Kukulkan. That's that constellation. And why do we have the Powhatan there? Because the Powhatan are the solstices and equinoxes. This allows for us to do longitude and latitude on Earth and for Earth location and in space for spatial locations. How we know it's spring and all of the movement of the earth has everything to do with where the stars are. This is how we know flat earthers don't know shit. Same culture. This is the mother culture, though. And where did the mother culture come from? It came from what you're calling prehistory. This is how I know none of you Eurasian Indians know anything about American history, indigenous history. Because if you did, if I show you this map, you would be able to say, oh man, I really got to come to Aboriginal University. Jabari Osazi and other people try, oh, this is the Ica stones, they're fake. What is this? North America, South America, West Africa, when it was broken off, right? And this is the 8th continent, Zealand. Go type in Zealand, 8th continent in the Pacific. This continent is sunk. This is why you have in the Pacific Ocean, you have the Ring of Fire. When I was back in the day talking about Mu and Lemuria, well, Lemuria was a term that the Europeans would use, but I was using Mu. But they was used. Some of them were using Mu too. But that's a term from Shi language. We have whole pyramids throughout Mexico, Honduras that have that name Mu in it. That continent that's B right there is gone now. It's gone. Whoever did this new plate tectonics way back then, Ushaya, the guy who they said was faking the stones, came back and told you why he made that statement. Because you could go to jail. You could literally go to jail. The Peruvian authorities will put you in jail for selling artifacts. He came back in a later interview on BBC and said, yeah, I said that because they were going to put me in jail. The stones already been here. The stones were here when the Spanish came. This is the oldest map in the world. This is what I'm showing you right now is the certified primary oldest map in the world. When I first got this book, I had to pay $400 and I had to write in Spanish to the museum in Ica, Peru to get the book because they wouldn't sell it in America. So when you get my book, Are Black Americans Aboriginals or Africans? Let me show you what I have in there to close out this point. Let me show you. Let me show you. To close out this point, let me show you what you need to understand about the antiquity of American civilizations over Africa and anything that you might have known from any other places. All right, let me show you. And then we can get up out of here. I'm going to make this statement about Aboriginal Village Project, and then we can get up out of there. All right, so let me take you back to this so you can understand this in the context of geology. We gotta fix the geologist knowledge too. Ain't nothing but something to do though. So let me that's why you gotta get these books. I mean, you got them in. Don't ask me questions where you can get these books. Give me a second and pull it up, and then we can close out. All right, so this is the book right here. Let me put some of this stuff down because we're about to close out. All right, so let me share this, and then we can get up out of here after I make my announcements and get up out of here. All right, so here's the book right here. Messages of the Engraved Stones of Ica. That's Javier Cabrera. Darquilla was born in the beautiful sunny coast city of Ica, Peru, 1924. So he was doing his work with the stones. It's my signed copy. This is Zealand. Zealand is the 8th continent. The one that I showed on the map that's no longer in the Pacific, geologists have this, they discovered it. The hidden continent. That's in the Pacific. So there's the primary. And this is what you need to study. People are trying to talk about Pangea as if there's not knowledge today to explain exactly what Pangea was. Pangea was not the beginning. Pangea was the continents crashing together after the earth went through a cataclysm. The cataclysm is recorded both in nature. All right. When you go through the sediment of the rocks, you start finding these ash deposits at 13,000 years ago to 12,000 years ago because an event happened. Now, wouldn't you find it interesting that none of the other planets that in our solar system have tectonic plates? Earth is the only one with tectonic plates. You don't want to know why? Because Earth went through a disaster that created tectonic plates. Tectonic plates are not a natural feature on a planet. So prior to Pangea, you had this, and North America was the first land out of the water. Go to Louis Agassiz, and he was a geologist, a respected geologist, and he talked about it in his material. I'm not going to pull all that stuff up because it's tedious. But if I had to, I'll pull it up. So this is what the maps were supposed to look like. So now let's go through this. You see this plate right here? This map right here is so accurate. It depicted West Africa detached from the rest of Africa. Now let's go to modern science. And what does it say? These modern depictions of the plate show where West Africa and the rest of Africa plate are separate. All right. So this section right here was a sea. I went over this already and detailed how this was a sea. And Atlantis was West Africa. Oh, America is Atlantis. America is not Atlantis. Atlantis was an island. This whole West Africa, the evidence of the descriptions that are given by Greeks and other people, all of that has been found. And so when Atlantis went through this catastrophe, they left Atlantis and created what we know of as Egypt on the Nile Valley. But Atlantis was a colony of the Americas. So this event crashing together of the planets was the result of a catastrophe. It's on the front of this book. Look, they're looking at it. They're looking at it with telescopes. That asteroid that you thought was the Chicxulub crater that created the Gulf of Mexico did not happen millions of years ago. That happened only thousands of years ago. And it's recorded in the archaeological deposits. They're just trying to figure out what it is. They're not putting the whole picture together. Guess who the first people to put it together? Aboriginal University. I published it all in this book. So here are the progressions. This is how the planet started off. This continent, Zelanda, now sunk. It caused the continents to smash together. Right? D was separate. When it smashed together, D stayed sealed to F, and the others have been floating back towards the Pacific Trench. All the continents are in vector motion towards the Pacific because of the cataclysms that occurred. So the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific are those locations where I'm going to stop here because all the disasters weren't natural. I'll say that. All the disasters were not natural. This was warfare. That's a whole large conversation to go into. We don't have time, but that's okay. So, yeah. Get this book, man, because these books go through all the stuff I'm saying is written down in here. Like literally. Then you get the patina and the paint still that you see the people was brown. Yeah, they were doing surgery and all kind of stuff. You want to know where the Nazca lines come from and all of that? Yeah. You want to know where compasses come from? The sheep. You want to know why these layouts are like this? Because the American universities were teaching the Egyptian universities. Yeah. I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to go right here. to talk some business, and then we getting up out of here, man. We getting up out of here, man. We getting up out of here. All right. So we are venturing on a project, and I want everybody to understand what we are doing here. What we're doing here is good business. We are not here to be online talking scholarship only to impress people. We're here to impact people's lives on a very, very direct business modality. Of course, you need to read. I will keep posting stuff inside of the chats when I do lives. I haven't done lives in a long time. I'm not here to be on YouTube all the time. We're handling business. But you need to study. So those books are there in PDFs and physical form, what have you. But you need to understand that our activity has been great, but we're about to accelerate. So we have this operation called the Aboriginal Village Project. That is a project of the SOS and DOS Rights of Passage Societies of ARNA. And what are our objectives? Our objectives are to free you. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. How many of you paying property taxes? How many of you paying sale taxes? How many of you pay taxes when you buy a car? How many of you are entrepreneurs who would like to keep most of your money and do it in a strategic way that's lawful? How many of your children would like to have free classes on civics, economics, farming, nutrition, cooking, herbal medicine, exercise sciences, self-defense? So starting this summer, these are things that we'll be doing. Now, we can, if your household makes, say, $150,000, we're telling you we can save you $20,000 a year of money that you're spending. And all we saying is, okay, if we can prove that we do it ourselves and we could do it for you, what are you willing to invest back into a program that can spread all across Black America and be something that is effective, reparative? We got to ask for reparations. I keep telling y'all that we can get reparations ourselves. We get restitution and reclamation. Because each time we start claiming these properties back, you online listening to sovereign citizens talking about a loyal title, they don't know nothing about a loyal title. Aboriginal title is when you claim the land back with no encumbrances. So if you had a mortgage, you pay the mortgage off, you still got property taxes, the county is still in your business. Do you know that there's a way that you can get them out of your business? I teach this in the economics class. I've been teaching this since 2009. So this is our philanthropy and charitable acts back to you. So we do have a tier system, but everything we do from now on, you buy herbs from us, you buy books. I'm telling you this because you need to understand real economics. Every book you buy from me is a write-off. It's a tax write-off. And we can show you how to exempt 80% of your income, file taxes on 20% of your income, get write-offs for the 20%, and have no money that you owe back to the federal government. In fact, you'll get checks back. All lawful and legal. Not no, I'm going to tap into your treasury account, I'm going to discharge your car, and then have people looking for you, and then have you on FBI most wanted, then you get caught up in federal court on charges of wire fraud. So look at these tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and start thinking about two things: how you can take advantage of it, and two, what local city you're in. If we don't have a ARNA local jurisdiction, how you can start a jurisdiction and get people to understand that they have remedy in the form of reparations that they could do for themselves, reclamation they could do for themselves, and a project that we're doing in regards to the current administration to get restitution. That is a BIA trust fund account that will pay us because they owe us as Indigenous people. I told y'all way back in 2016 that Pan-African shit was about to die, and I had the sphere to scout. The excuse me, I had the axe to scalp these people. Tomahawk. They're done. That project is over. We're trying to get you to do good business. So look at these tiers and start thinking about it. Get you some educational material that I just went over that will put you in a position to have clarity about what's going on. Unless you just want to be online with a bunch of New Age Indians that are telling you that you're Tartarians, America is Egypt, or this list or African listening to the $5 Eurasians tell you that you're somebody that you're not, and that everybody on the Mayan walls was wearing paint. I don't think that's a good idea. They don't sound like a in-game plan. Secure party creditor is fraud. That's the difference. What we're doing is building governmental structure and legacy. Secure party creditor is nothing but fraud. It's nothing. It has nothing to do with family. It has nothing to do with building institutions. It has something to do with people who are a part of a trend of information. And by the way, this is the fourth wave of this fraudulent information, because when I came into all the information in 1998, I was on the second wave. Y'all way out of it. I need to get involved in something that is going to be progressive for yourself, your children, and people when you're not here. And if your maturation level on the mental level is not thinking about that, I can't wake you up from the mentally dead. I'm gonna leave you dead, and I'm still gonna step right over you. All right. So you'll see me talking about this, but I won't be back for a little while, probably like maybe a month or two. I got business to take care of, but there are other people in Honor who are doing lives and communications and that kind of stuff. So they'll be able to share that kind of stuff with you and go on. All right. I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you for your time tonight. We don't have anything else to share. Yeah, we're done. We're done with everything. I don't know what alkaline drops you're looking for. We don't have alkaline drops. We have all the kind of droppers. We have the zone with CBD and L-theanine. We have all kinds of stuff. All right. So other questions, you can use the Arna text line to ask those questions. But thank you for your time. We appreciate y'all. Have a blessed Sunday evening, and we out.